Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to the channel on a Sunday morning. Sunday morning up with a lark. I think I'll go for a walk in the park. Hey, 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 it is a beautiful day. It's Celtic Sundays. Celtic away Hibs this afternoon, and I've got to say, it's another the games at Hibs. When I look back to the last season, the games at Hibs were tight affairs at the beginning of the season. They were that. They were tight games. It's perfect. Yeah, it is. It was tight games at the beginning of last season. Celtic came on a bit. Yes, we are a bit further forward, but we're lacking in players. We're going to talk about that today. It's all positive today. It is all about getting the 3 points. Oh, and there's one thing I need to do before um, jump into the comment section. Boy67 says he thinks it's going to be 3-0 this afternoon. Hail. Stephen Kelly says he thinks it's going to be 3-1. Do the squad stay overnight in Edinburgh before this game? Yes, they used to. They used to stay at the hotel just over from Dunkin' Donuts as you go into Edinburgh. They used to stay at that hotel, which is about 5 minutes from Scott Brown's house, which is always funny. And I used to think that was funny that Scott would stay at the hotel when he stayed 5 minutes down the road. But Brendan Rodgers does like the team to stay together. So, yeah, that is the hotel that they used to stay in. I suggest that's probably still the same hotel that they stay in, to be honest. So that's the answer to your question. Stephen, Boy67 says the style we are playing, the sharpness, the quickness makes me think it's going to be a high scoring season. I was going to get to that in just a minute. We'll come back to that because I think that Brendan Rodgers would have set a target that would have came down to goals. Um, 4-0 today, and he's going for 100 points. I'd put a bet on that actually. If you're a betting man, put a bet on that now at the beginning of the season that Celtic will score 100 points. Plus the league smoked by Christmas. I don't think it'll be smoked by Christmas, but definitely by the end of February, there's only going to be one winner, and I think it's going to be Celtic. Jim F says, "Morning, Baz. Morning, Baz. Come on, you boys in green." Tam Max in the house. Hibs is always a hard game. Can't see them getting near us though. I think so too, but it's one of those games that we always seem to struggle in. Jeffrey's in the house, Sarah's in the house, morning to you. Justin's in the house, 4-0. He's going for Celtic boys in the house, morning troops. Hazel's in the house, morning. She's going for 4-0. Simon Island, her boys and troops, looking forward to today's game. Yes, and I will be going live an hour and 15 minutes before the game, also once we get the team news out just before. Sean, big shout out to Sean. I'm on a Baz, hail, hail, because I do believe that Sean is our newest member when it comes to, let me just go, when it comes to the channel membership. So yeah, I think that happened yesterday, didn't it, Sean? Let me just double check. Studio. Oh no, it wasn't. It was Larson. It was Larson. So a big shout out to Larson BFF 6788. Big shout out to Larson, who became our 19th channel member, which is well within the parameters of your first month of being on a membership on YouTube, which is cool. I'm really impressed with that. Anyway, let's get back to the comments. Big Dom says I see Celtic violation for Mattarelli being met next week. But will he want to leave? We'll talk about that in a minute because there has been that fourth bid from Atlanta, the low ball Atlanta. I think they're the Sevco struggle to beat a poor Motherwell side with 8 players out. Well, there you go. They still managed that win at Hampden. It's the first win at Hampden that they've had for a long time, you have to say. And will it be a happy hunting ground handling for them? I've no idea what the game was like yesterday. I never watched their stuff, but it would be interesting to see what the atmosphere and everything was like. Morning, Baz, and the beautiful Celtic supporters. Hope everyone is all good. Yeah, we are. Um, I'm just sorry if I've missed you out. I've signed a couple of new players now, but they've been a shambles so far this season. Time to gel. We should win by 2 or 3. Is that my old man or is that my brother? That is the question. I've got a funny feeling it's my brother because my dad's not that good at football, and my brother was on WhatsApp. Give me 2 seconds, I'll just message him. Ach, no bother. Anyway, Hoops 4-0 says Spacey. Andy Mack says 2-0 today, Baz. And 0-0. Hibs are still back. So Hibs will sit back and defend. Hibs really need to go for it. When you look at the league table, Hibernian are their second bottom. Now, Hibernian, if they want to sit back and just soak it up, there's only going to be one outcome for the game, if you ask me, and that'll be a Celtic win. Hibs aren't good enough to soak it up for the whole 90 minutes. The second bottom of the table. Yes, they're only one game in, but as it stands just now, they're second bottom of the table. When you look at the games that are on today, obviously you've got Hibernian and Celtic, the 12:30 kickoff. That'll be 11:30 your time. And then you've got Aberdeen St Mirren. St Mirren are flying just now. They had a decent result in Europe, St Mirren, during the week. And there's every chance that, well, they had a good result, but it was they were under the cosh for a big bit of the game. St Mirren, I believe, because I spoke to a guy that was at the game who's a big, massive YouTuber, and but he said, yeah, they were under cosh for quite a bit, but it was a decent result to get that draw. But anyway, they've got the European hangover. Can Aberdeen take advantage of that? And then you've got Kilmarnock St Johnston. Now Kilmarnock, they're bottom of the table. You'd think after the way that they played last season that you're going to take Kilmarnock St Johnson. You're going to take Kilmarnock win for that one, but it's only going to give them 3 points, and I'll get them. Fair enough, I'll get them halfway up that table. Can Aberdeen beat St Mirren today? If Aberdeen beat St Mirren, that will take them up to above Rangers and everybody. But we're not concerned about them. It's all about Celtic this morning. And obviously the news yesterday that Atlanta did put in a fourth bid for the one and only Matt O'Reilly. The bid that was put out by Fabrizio Romano. Uh, After Mate Morato, but fucking who knows how to say it. He says that they put in a bid for 23 million euros. Celtic insist on asking fee of 28 million euros, which is around about 25 million pounds for Matt O'Reilly. Brighton remain keen on the midfielder. I've got a funny feeling that someone's going to come in the last week of the transfer and they're just going to go boom, 25 million plus 5 million add-ons, and it's going to be a club that haven't put a bid in so far, that have just been sitting in the background waiting. Will it be a Liverpool? Will it be a Chelsea? If your smart money's on anybody, I think it's going to be Liverpool. I've just got a funny feeling that Liverpool might just rock up the last week of the transfer window and slap in that 25 million plus offer that would then trigger the talks and Matt O'Reilly would be at the door. But it would leave Celtic extremely short in the midfield again, although we were linked with a 31-year-old guy the other day that worked with Brendan before. Everyone said he's quite good. We'll just have to wait and see with that one. Anyway, when it comes to Adam Ida was a substitute yesterday in the Norwich game. And when you jump onto, he was brought on in the 61st minute, Adam Ida, and you're thinking that's Celtic time for him coming on, time for him to get a goal, but he didn't. He didn't. They ended up getting beat 2-0, I think it was. And he got quite a bit of stick. They don't really rate Adam Ida, do they, down at Norwich? Which is strange because do they know something about the player? And it's maybe because he's been at Norwich for so long, they don't rate him. I mean, there's when a player comes through the youth system at Celtic, we tend not to rate them, and then we think we are going to rate them, and we give them a long-term deal, and then they're sold from under our feet. But like Bosun Lowell, who was pictured down at Stoke yesterday in the main stand. So he's looking to put pen to paper on that deal that will make him a full-time Stoke player, and Celtic will bag between 2 and 3 million for him. Is that a good piece of business? Um, I'm not too sure. Did we not pay something like 1 million for Bosun Lawler when he was just a young lad? I can't remember. Anyway, what's wrong when you read the comments on um, Twitter, on the Twitter feed for Norwich when Adam Ida came on? They really don't rate him, do they? They don't rate him at all. Um, Yeah, that's all I'm going to say on the matter of that, as they don't rate them. And Atlanta, well, they finally went from 14 million up to 23 million euros. But Celtic are insistent on 28 million. Anyway, to the game today. Who cares about transfers? Because they're all out with our control. We can all just speculate, we can all moan, and we can all say that the team should be stronger. But you can only push with the cock you've got, as they say. And anyway, how everyone got to Fox's Perth Oz to watch the game. And the Perth CSC is Angelo, the man. What time is it with you this morning, Angelo? Hail, hail, Baz and everyone. He says, into Johnny Fox's in Perth, Australia. I love the fact that you're a channel member, mate, and the fact that you've watched the game down there. And it's great. And if you are part of your CSC, drop your CSC name in the comments today. Three main players out didn't look the same team. St. Mirren were lucky to get anything. The Norwegian mob looked really good. Yep, that's what I kind of got told as well from a guy that's got 60 odd thousand subscribers on YouTube. Would O'Reilly want to go to Spurs? I don't even. Spurs aren't going to come in for him. This nonsense that he was offered to Spurs through an intermediary is just bullshit. It's a nonsense story, and I don't believe that he was off. If Ange Postecoglou wanted Matt O'Reilly, Ange would pick up the phone to Celtic. This that he was offered to believe. If you think that someone outside Celtic has been told by someone in Celtic, go and see if do you know if that was going to be the case, Nicholson himself would pick up the phone to Ange. Brendan would pick up the phone to Ange. Do you know, stop looking too much into the nonsense that is getting spouted out by some of the media out there. I think if Ange really wanted Matt O'Reilly as a player, now remember what Matt O'Reilly said about Ange at the beginning of last season. I don't think there's much love lost there, and I can't see him being. And Matt O'Reilly wasn't a first choice under Ange Postecoglou. So why would he then want him down at Spurs? Because he had one good season with Brendan. Got to remember, he worked with him day in, day out for a season and a half. So he knows the player. He knows the player well enough to say, is he worth 25 million? Probably in Ange's book, he's probably going to go, not a chance he's worth 25 million. But that's what Celtic want. So we'll leave it at that. That's my take on it anyway. Hit the thumbs up, 250 watching, only 47 likes, says Grab Boy. There is 58 thumbs up. And if you're on your phone watching that, you can do it easily. But if you're on your laptop, YouTube's changed a few things, so you need to come off it. Open up your phone and do it on your phone. And Larson, good morning, Baz. There's the man. There's the newest channel member. Big shout out to Larson BFF6788. That's a name and a half. Just shorten it down to Larson 67 or something. You can do that on YouTube. Yeah, but thank you for subscribing to the channel through the channel membership, and I hope you'll get some great value out of it. I'd keep O'Reilly for 18 months. I think I'd keep O'Reilly um, for. I put out a video the other day saying that are Celtic looking short-sightedly at the whole trying to get 25 million from Matt O'Reilly, due to the fact that if we're in the Champions League this year, we're going to earn around about 50 million from the Champions League. If we keep Matt O'Reilly and he helps us get into the Champions League next season, that's another 50 million. So that then takes the value of the player to 100 million on paper. And then if he stays another season and helps us get into the Champions League, that's 150 million that Celtic could bank, rather than taking the short term look financially and saying, look, we're going to take that 25 million and cash in on the asset. Where for me, I would rather build a team around Rio Hatate. If he's going to stay any longer than another season, I think we might get one more season at Rio Hatate before he's moved on. But I would like to build around those two guys in the midfield. And I mean, there's a good excuse for people saying that Callum McGregor's past it. I personally don't think he's past it. I think he's doing exactly what Brendan Rodgers tried to do with Scott Brown, get him to retire from international football so that he's got these weeks off in September, October, February, March time, and that'll help prolong his Celtic career. I think personally, I think that Callum McGregor still had another World Cup competition in him, but he wants to play at the highest level. And when you're playing at the Champions League, when you're playing 50 games a season, to then go and play for your country as well, you can understand it. And the fact that towards the end of that season, he had that niggling injury that he says that he gets towards the end of every season. So when you think about what Callum McGregor has done, it has freed him up some space to get a bit of R&R throughout the season. So anyway, 4:15 in the afternoon in Perth kickoff. Kickoff's at 7:30. What time is it? I know I better watch it because I'm going to end up running into two different videos here. Um, hail, hail. Yeah, and before I go on, right, I put a picture up in the community tab yesterday. I do not drink Carlin. It's only a Carlin glass. The Spanish aren't too fussy about getting the right type of glass for your beer. I mean, I've had a Guinness in just a normal pint glass over here. So don't think I was drinking Carlin. The amount of people that posted on that picture said, "The fuck are you drinking Carlin for?" I wouldn't drink Carlin. It's minging. It was Mao I was drinking. Anyway, I just had to get that one off my chest. Carly's in the house. Ange didn't play Matt O'Reilly, so why would he want him at Spurs? Yes, this is true. Ange Liam Miles is in the house. Liam, how are you this morning? Hope you're all right, mate. A minute, where did that one go? No, I just missed a comment. Where is it? Why has the comments just jumped away up? Spurs spent 60. It's definitely no, it's not my old one. Spurs spent 60 million on player yesterday, 30 million on a youngster from Leeds. They ain't spending much more. This is very true. And like I said, why are they going to spend? If they wanted Matt O'Reilly, if they wanted Matt O'Reilly, he would have been there well before now, because you know the way that Ange works. Very surprised that Man United aren't in for Matt O'Reilly, says Big Dom. Um, I think Man United have got a lot of more. I think that Ten Hag would be looking at a different type of player, to be honest. It's just my feeling of it. Just my feeling. Andy Mack says, I've got the feeling that Matt will stay. Why would you leave at this moment? He loves Celtic. It's not really up to Matt O'Reilly. We know that. As soon as that bid comes in for the 25 million plus that triggers the talks, yeah, Matt O'Reilly could turn around and say he's not leaving. But it's happened many, many times before. As soon as that figure that Celtic want is triggered, it's game over. It's the end game for as far as I mean. The player might not want to go to that team. Don't know. There's been many players that have turned around and said that they didn't really want to leave Celtic, but the men in power and the finances. And you've got to admit, Brendan Rodgers is playing a double-edged sword, saying, "Look, you don't have to leave Celtic, but." And then he flips the sword over and says, "The wages on offer." You know, he then puts it onto it's the player, the wages on offer. We can't compete with the wages on offer. I think that Celtic could easily compete with 45 grand a week for Matt O'Reilly. Stick Matt O'Reilly on 45 grand a week and keep him for another 2 seasons. Get him in the Champions League. Get him performing in the Champions League. Kasper Schmeichel would help him get into the national team, which would only increase his value as far as I'm concerned. And then that would make him a better player. Would he then be worth more than the 25 million that Celtic wanted? Or is it the fact that teams like Atlanta do not rate the Scottish League? Hence the reason that they do not want to pay the 25 million that Celtic are looking for. As far as they're concerned, that's like Saudi money for any player in the Scottish League. But it'll all come out in the wash over the next couple of weeks, so there's no use getting overly excited about it, overly depressed, overly moaning about the fact that we've got the best part of 100 million in the bank. I think that if the board had any ambitions at all to try and do better. And let's face it, Brendan Rodgers has already stated what he wants to try and achieve in the Champions League this year. So anyway, right, that's me jump through some of the comments. There's 342, 399 watching, and there's only 83 likes. There's been 911 people watched the video so far, and we've been on the go for 19 minutes. I talk far too much. Anyway, the fact missed that one out, done that one, done that one. Yes, the training video yesterday. The training video. Right. Who's been trying to wind up Alistair Johnson? Who's been trying to wind up Alistair Johnson? Who stuck shite in Alistair Johnson's pocket? You seen Alistair Johnson coming into training yesterday, and he's got his hand in his pocket, and he's like, "It's fucking shit in my pocket. It's fucking annoying." He's like, so somebody's obviously been trying to try to wind up talk a lot in the dressing room. I wonder who it was. Who's been trying to wind up talk a lot? Alistair Johnson's a fantastic player, and obviously there's somebody in the dressing room. Alistair needs to shut up. I'm going to wind Ali up today. And you could just say, if it was Bruni was still there, you would say it was Bruni. Can't I see it being Calmac? Might have been wee Jamesy Forrest, or I think it's Greg Taylor. I think Greg Taylor's the wind-up merchant in the dressing room now since Bruni's left. Ida's not the golden goose he's been made out to be. Yes, the fact that they don't rate Adam either that much. Anyway, let me just do one more check. We are top of the league with 4 points. No, we're not. Dundee's top of the league with 4 points. We're on 3 points. the, the Rangers in disguise are currently on 4 points, but that doesn't matter because it's only the second game of the season, and we will win today to go top with maximum points. Who will then follow us? Will it be Aberdeen or St Mirren? That's going to be the game to watch today, I think, if you're looking for a game that has a bit of oomph about it. But then again, it's Aberdeen. You never know if they're going to play that good or not. Let me just do this before we call it quits, and then I'll see you in just a short time. See. Yep, so I will be back live, not too far from now. An hour and 15 before kickoff. It is 12:30. Why would you even forward that when I'm Oh, Jesus. Oh, you're on the wind up. James is my brother's now trying to wind me up. Talking about shit in pockets. And he's totally thrown me on that one. Where the hell am I? Right, let's jump back into the comments before we cut up. There's the thumbs up bars. Says Jim F. Martin's in the house. Says it wasn't Lawwell stuffing money into his pockets. Can rule him out right away. Yeah, that's true. Surely we'll thrash Hibs, says Carly. Celtic, Gareth Phillips says Baz Celtic 4, Hibs nil. A lot of people are going for 4 nil. I think that Celtic and Brendan Rodgers would have sat down last week. Since the game was on Sunday, they would sit down on the Saturday. They would have their pre-season chat where they talk about the targets that they want to achieve, points tally targets, winning a treble, getting further into the Champions League than we've ever done before, winning games predominantly. But I think that Brendan Rodgers would also have spoken about goals scored. And I think that they'll want to go out. Brendan Rodgers will want to try and break records this season. Brendan Rodgers will try to want. If Brendan Rodgers says if he can win every game 4-0, that'll put us on a fantastic position come the quarter end of the season where he says Celtic turn up. Anyway, see you in an hour and 15 before kickoff. Have a fantastic day. We have had 1,080 people on the video so far. There's currently 414. And on that note, hasta luego. See you in a wee while.